our hearts beat.
Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched, and felt that familiar ache in your back or a stiffness in your joints that just wasn't there a decade ago? Maybe you've noticed you're more tired after a day of errands, or that climbing the stairs feels like more of a chore than it used to. If you're nodding along, you're not alone. As we cross into our 60s and beyond, our bodies start to remind us that time is moving forward, and those little aches and pains can become a regular part of life. But here's the good news. You don't have to just accept them as inevitable. There are small, practical changes you can make to feel stronger, more energized, and more comfortable in your own skin. And one surprising tool that can help is a hot tub. Today, we're diving into 4 common health mistakes that people over 60 often make. Mistakes that can lead to back pain, stiffness, and fatigue. These are things you might not even realize you're doing, but they can quietly chip away at your vitality. More importantly, we're going to talk about how you can avoid these pitfalls and how something as simple and enjoyable as soaking in a hot tub can make a real difference. By the time we're done, you'll have practical steps to move better, feel better, and maybe even rediscover a bit of that youthful energy you thought was long gone. So, let's get started with the first mistake. And trust me, it's one that sneaks up on so many of us. The first mistake is ignoring mild pain signals. You know that twinge in your lower back after sitting for too long, or that stiffness in your shoulders when you've been gardening? It's easy to brush those off as just part of getting older. I get it. Life is busy, and we've all been taught to push through discomfort. But here's the thing. Those little aches are your body's way of waving a red flag. If you ignore them, they can turn into chronic pain that's much harder to manage. For example, I have a friend, Linda, who's 67. She loves knitting, but she started noticing her hands and wrists would ache after an hour or two. She figured it was just arthritis setting in and kept going. Over time, that mild discomfort turned into pain that made it hard for her to hold her needles at all. It wasn't until she saw a physical therapist that she learned those early aches were a sign of strain that could have been addressed much sooner. So what can you do instead? Start by listening to your body. If you feel discomfort, don't just power through. Take a break, stretch gently, or change your position. If the pain sticks around for more than a few days, consider talking to a doctor or a physical therapist to get ahead of it. And here's where a hot tub comes in. Soaking in warm water can be a game changer for those early aches. The heat relaxes tight muscles and increases blood flow, which helps reduce inflammation and ease discomfort. Imagine sinking into a hot tub after a long day, the warm water wrapping around you like a cozy blanket, melting away that tension in your back or shoulders. Studies show that hydrotherapy, like soaking in a hot tub, can reduce pain and improve mobility for conditions like arthritis or muscle strain. Even 15 minutes a day can make a noticeable difference. You don't need a fancy spa. Just a hot tub at home, set to a comfortable temperature, can become your secret weapon for staying limber and pain-free. Now, let's move on to the second mistake, which ties right into this idea of keeping your body moving comfortably, not prioritizing flexibility. As we age, our muscles and joints naturally lose some of their elasticity. Think about how a rubber band gets brittle if it's not used regularly. That's kind of what happens to our bodies if we don't make an effort to stay flexible. Maybe you've noticed it's harder to bend down to tie your shoes, or that reaching for something on a high shelf feels like a stretch, literally. A lot of us assume that losing flexibility is just part of aging, so we stop trying to maintain it. But here's why that's a problem. Stiff muscles and joints make everyday movements harder, and they increase your risk of injury. A simple misstep or twist can lead to a pulled muscle or even a fall, which is something we all want to avoid. The good news is that you don't need to be a yoga guru to stay flexible. Small, consistent efforts go a long way. For instance, try doing gentle stretches in the morning while you're waiting for your coffee to brew. Reach your arms overhead, roll your shoulders, or do a simple side bend. Even 5 minutes a day can help. If you're not sure where to start, there are plenty of free videos online tailored for seniors that guide you through safe, easy stretches. My neighbor Tom, who's 72, started doing a 10-minute stretch routine after his doctor warned him about his tight hips. He says he feels like he's moving 10 years younger now, and he's even back to playing catch with his grandkids without worrying about pulling something. And guess what? A hot tub can supercharge your flexibility efforts. The warm water loosens up your muscles and joints, making it easier to stretch without discomfort. Some people even do light stretches right in the hot tub, letting the water support their movements. The buoyancy of the water takes pressure off your joints, so you can move more freely than you might on land. It's like giving your body a head start before you even begin your day. Plus, soaking in a hot tub feels like a treat, not a chore, so it's easier to stick with it. Imagine ending your evening with a relaxing soak, maybe with some soft music playing, knowing you're doing something great for your body while enjoying every second of it. We've covered two big mistakes so far, ignoring mild pain and neglecting flexibility, and you can see how they feed into each other. When you listen to your body and keep your muscles limber, you're setting yourself up to move better and feel better. But there's another piece to this puzzle that's just as important, and it's something a lot of us overlook as we get older. Let's dive into that next, because it's all about giving your body the kind of rest it really needs to thrive. So, we've been talking about how small changes can make a big difference in how you feel as you navigate your 60s and beyond. Now, let's dive into another common mistake that can sneak up on you: neglecting proper rest and recovery. You might be thinking, rest? I'm already slowing down. Isn't that enough? But here's the thing. Rest isn't just about sleeping or sitting on the couch. It's about giving your body the kind of recovery it needs to repair, recharge, and keep you moving without those nagging aches or that bone-deep fatigue. As we age, our muscles and joints take longer to bounce back from activity, whether it's a day of gardening, a walk with friends, or even just keeping up with grandkids. If you skip this step, you're more likely to feel stiff, sore, or just plain worn out. Let me tell you about my friend Susan, who's 68. She loves staying active, line dancing, volunteering at the community center, you name it. But a couple of years ago, she started feeling like she was dragging by mid-afternoon. She'd push through her day, thinking a good night's sleep would fix everything. But the stiffness and tiredness kept piling up. It wasn't until she started being intentional about recovery that things changed. Recovery doesn't mean doing nothing. It means actively helping your body heal. For Susan, that looked like taking short breaks to stretch, drinking enough water, and, here's the key, making time to relax her muscles properly. One of the best ways to do this is with a hot tub. Soaking in warm water is like hitting the reset button for your body. The heat boosts circulation, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to tired muscles, helping them repair faster. It's also incredibly relaxing, which is important because stress can make physical tension worse. Picture this. After a busy day, you slip into a hot tub, the water bubbling gently around you, maybe with a cup of herbal tea nearby. Your shoulders drop, your back loosens, and that tight knot in your neck starts to melt away. Research backs this up. Studies show that hydrotherapy can reduce muscle soreness and improve recovery time, especially for older adults. Even a 20-minute soak a few times a week can leave you feeling refreshed and ready for your next adventure. If you're someone who struggles to wind down, try dimming the lights or playing some calming music during your soak to make it a ritual you look forward to. Now, let's talk about another mistake that's closely tied to this: not managing stress effectively. You might not think of stress as a health issue, but it's a big one, especially as we get older. Chronic stress doesn't just mess with your mood, it can make physical problems like back pain, stiffness, and fatigue worse. When you're stressed, your muscles tense up, your blood pressure climbs, and your body releases hormones that can increase inflammation. Over time, that's a recipe for feeling achy and exhausted. I've seen this with my uncle, who's 71. He's retired, but he's always worrying about something. Finances, family, you name it. He started having headaches and lower back pain that he couldn't explain, and his doctor pointed out that stress was likely making everything worse. The good news is that you can take control of stress without overhauling your life. Simple habits can make a huge difference. For example, try setting aside 5 minutes in the morning to breathe deeply. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. It sounds basic, but it calms your nervous system. Or take a short walk outside and focus on the sounds around you, like birds or rustling leaves. These little moments help your body and mind reset. And you guessed it, a hot tub can be a powerful tool here too. Soaking in warm water lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and promotes relaxation. It's like a mini vacation for your brain. Some people even use their hot tub time to practice mindfulness, focusing on the sensation of the water or the warmth on their skin. My cousin swears by her evening soaks. She says 15 minutes in the hot tub feels like it washes away the whole day's worries. Here's a practical tip. If you're new to using a hot tub for stress relief, start with short sessions, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and make sure the water isn't too hot. Around 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal for most people. You can even add a touch of luxury with some Epsom salts, which have magnesium to help relax muscles. It's not about turning your life into a spa day. It's about creating small pockets of calm that help you feel your best. And the beauty of a hot tub is that it's low effort. You just step in, sit back, and let the water do the work. We've covered a lot of ground here, from giving your body the recovery it needs to tackling stress before it takes a toll. These steps are all about working smarter, not harder, to keep your body and mind in sync. But there's one more piece of this puzzle that ties everything together, and it's something that can really amplify the benefits of what we've talked about so far. Let's explore that next, because it's all about making sure you're getting the most out of every moment you invest in your health. Now that we've explored some key ways to keep your body and mind feeling their best, let's talk about one more mistake that can quietly hold you back: underestimating the power of consistent self-care. It's easy to think that self-care is just a buzzword or something reserved for younger folks with more time on their hands. But as we move through our 60s and beyond, prioritizing yourself in small, intentional ways is one of the most powerful things you can do to avoid back pain, stiffness, and fatigue. The truth is, your body is like a garden. It needs regular tending to thrive. Skip that care, and the weeds of discomfort and exhaustion start to creep in. But with a little effort, you can keep blooming, and a hot tub can be a surprisingly simple tool to make that happen. Let me share a story about my friend Margaret, who's 70. She's always been the type to put everyone else first: her kids, her grandkids, her volunteer work. A few years ago, she started feeling stiff and tired all the time, like her body was running on empty. She'd tell me, "I don't have time to slow down and pamper myself." But then she realized that self-care didn't have to mean long spa days or complicated routines. It could be as simple as carving out 20 minutes a day to do something that made her feel good, like soaking in her hot tub. That small habit changed everything. She started sleeping better, her joints felt looser, and she had more energy to keep up with her busy life. The key was consistency. It's not about doing something big once in a while. It's about small, regular acts that add up over time. So what does consistent self-care look like? It's about building habits that support your body and fit into your life. For example, try setting a daily reminder to do something kind for yourself, even if it's just drinking an extra glass of water or taking a moment to stretch. If you're dealing with aches or stiffness, make a plan to use your hot tub a few times a week. The warm water works wonders for keeping your muscles relaxed and your joints mobile. The buoyancy of the water reduces pressure on your spine and hips, which can be a lifesaver if you're dealing with back pain or arthritis. Plus, the heat helps your body release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that lift your mood and ease discomfort. It's like giving yourself a gentle, healing hug every time you step in. Here's a practical tip. Make your hot tub time a ritual you look forward to. Maybe you soak in the morning to start your day feeling loose and energized, or in the evening to unwind before bed. You can even pair it with something you enjoy, like listening to an audiobook or some soft jazz. My neighbor Bob, who's 73, keeps a little waterproof speaker by his hot tub and plays old Motown hits while he soaks. He says it's the best part of his day, and he's noticed his back pain is much less bothersome since he started doing it regularly. If you don't have a hot tub yet, Don't worry, start with warm baths or check out local community centers that might have hot tubs you can use. The key is to make it a habit, not a one-off. Now, let's tie all of this together. We've talked about 4 big mistakes that can make life harder as we age: ignoring mild pain, neglecting flexibility, skipping proper rest and recovery, and not managing stress well. Each of these can lead to more discomfort and less energy, but the good news is that they're all fixable with small, practical steps. Listening to your body's signals, staying limber with gentle stretches, giving yourself time to recover, and finding ways to keep stress in check can transform how you feel day to day. And weaving in consistent self-care, like regular hot tub soaks, pulls it all together, helping you move better, sleep better, and enjoy life more fully. The beauty of all this is that you don't need to overhaul your life to see results. Start with 1 or 2 changes, maybe a short stretch in the morning or a 15-minute hot tub soak a few times a week. Over time, those little efforts build up, and you'll start to notice you're not wincing when you get out of a chair or feeling wiped out by noon. It's about taking care of yourself in a way that feels good, not like a chore. And if you're thinking, this sounds great, but where do I start? Just pick one thing that feels doable. Maybe it's setting up a hot tub schedule, or trying a few deep breaths when you're feeling tense. Small steps lead to big changes. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you do to stay feeling your best? Or what's a challenge you're facing with aches or energy? Sharing your experiences can inspire someone else, and I read every comment to see what's resonating with you all. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who could use these tips. And if you want more ideas for living well at any age, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss our next video. Here's the bottom line. You deserve to feel strong, comfortable, and full of life, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. Those aches and pains don't have to define your days, and tools like a hot tub can make staying healthy feel like a treat. So, take that first step, be kind to yourself, and keep shining. Here's to living well and feeling great at every age. See you in the next video.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she